Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 31st of August. So today, just to be aware, obviously, well I say obviously, we don't know how the flows will run, but it is the sort of the end of the month. We'll get some month-end flows between currencies for sure. What the volumes will be like and the direction of those flows is anyone's guess. So it's just to be aware, particularly as the day goes on towards 4 o'clock. We generally get those more recently. We tend to see them more steady through the days leading in, and but even so, we can see quite some volatility, as I say, around the fix at 4 o'clock. So there we are. Watch out for that. Aside of that is just looking at other news. It's just bringing the calendar. I'm bringing the calendar in for this week because oops, wrong one. Bring the right one in would be good. There we go. Bring the right calendar in, and there we go. And what we have then here is today. Not a lot of things that are going to really move the markets too much in terms of news. Chicago PMI, these data, this data is very low. I mean, we see like 8 pip movements of some of this data, so don't expect too much from these news events. Don't hold your breath. The only one that really this week is going to be, well, I say the only one, the most significant we'll see is on Friday in terms of from a Fed point of view. We've got the ADP data before that, which is as useful as chocolate teapot, as I often say, often so far wrong. GDP quarter on quarter for Australia there on Wednesday. OPEC meetings, right? Okay, might see some volatility around the oil and so like Canadian dollar, etc. May get the knock-on effect of that. So. But we have FOMC speakers coming out this week. Same chap speaking a couple of times there, but we've got FOMC speakers. This may create some volatility leading through. It's quite some time, 22nd of September, before we get the next Fed meeting, fortunately. So really, we're hanging into Friday's non-farm payrolls there. Right, let's have a look at the technicals then on a relatively quiet day fundamentally, aside of any, as I say, any final flows there, month-end flows. Starting off looking at the euro. Euro yesterday ran into its daily 50 through the Asian session. It's pushed on through that. We've just seen a continuation, basically seeing the dollar index coming off effectively, and likes the euro risk is certainly looks like it's on in terms of the euro here. Aside of that, then there's the problem I have. Sorry, I'll come back to the euro in terms of trading this today. Problem I have is it's already moved so far. I mean, it's through its daily pivot. It's moved more than its general days. Certainly, yesterday was a small day, which we expected with London markets closed, but we've already surpassed that. We've taken out as much as half of what we did on Friday there when the news came out. So there we are. So for now, pushing up. How convinced am I about that news? Not massively, but I think we're just going to be patient now. But at the moment, the euro looks like it's, or the dollar index more so, looks like it's got a chance of falling some more. The pound shoved up yesterday, shoved up a little bit, but not much, and ended up on a down day actually. Looking at the wrong day here. Looking at today. Today it's already shoved up back into its daily 200. Bullishness sort of sitting through here, higher lows coming through in this market. Seems to want to have a bit of a breakout. As ever around this time of the morning, it's closing in on towards 8. We can see quite a correction occur post 8 o'clock, so I'm sort of quite wary when I look at these morning outlooks, and you look at what the market's doing. It's been pushing up all the way through. Has it got a chance of a retrace? Well, potentially. It's often on quite light volume. If you just put some volume on here, it's on such light volume that you see these moves occur through the Asian session compared to sort of normal daily volumes, and it just always a little suspicious. So hence why I'm sort of quite expecting for maybe a bit more of a retrace, and that retrace may be the point of buy opportunities. At the moment it looks like these markets are on the upside, so that could be the what we're waiting for is just a retrace. Yen continues just to chop amongst itself, chop in a range. That's what I really meant to say. There we go. Not really doing too much there. Aussie dollar, again, a breakout currency, pushing up quite well at the moment. We're seeing the commodity currencies do well. It sort of led the way on Friday in terms of its movement at many a time, and even last week, pushing up quite well at this stage. And again, we've just had it through the Asian session. Well, we'll again, the main movement sort of for the day seems to have happened. Will we get a retracement, the opportunity to buy, or are we looking for a sell point? But at the moment, the market's pushing up here, so really looking for the retracement on buy side. Canadian dollar sold off a little bit yesterday. Just ended up just a bit dilly-dally really. Doji bar sort of sitting there today. We're already selling off again. So again, these markets are just sort of looking like, well, are they going to just sort of roll back? We've got a double bottom on the Canadian dollar, so we've got these sort of resistance points on the other markets. Canadian dollar support, so it's US dollar, Canadian dollar, so we've got support here. Are we going to see a bit of a reversal this morning? Quite possibly. It's then a case of potentially looking for the sell points. Morning, Steve. Okay, it's a CAD New Zealand dollar. Let's just have a quick look through here. So New Zealand dollar moves marching up there quite strongly. I haven't yet personally looked at the flows of the big money where it's going this morning, but the New Zealand dollar was benefiting from some inflow. High lows, high highs running through here on the New Zealand dollar, and well, again, difficult one really to work out what it's going to do today. Is not even diverging here, but again, retracements, looking for some support, and maybe give us buy opportunities, but maybe for today only back to the highs. It's not my favorite sort of pattern to see a breakout so early, well, often about midday or midnight there, early hours in the morning, to find it's already pushed up quite so far. Okay, cross pairs, let's just have a quick look. Euro yen, so euro yen pushing up quite steadily, daily 50 just above. Again, market that's got high lows, high highs, so it's just patience this morning most likely. The afternoons seem to be moving better than the mornings quite often recently. Seeing more information. Yes, there's news coming out in the afternoon often, but even without the news, we just see this sort of market move 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, off it goes. Sometimes a bit earlier, but again, we've got this sort of already up to its R3 area actually on the euro yen, so quite a distance already done. So patience game. Let's have a look at the commodities. Gold. So yesterday gold sold off there. It had a great Friday, best day for a while, but it gave back some of that yesterday, pushing up at the moment, and again, it's already gone so far. If it starts breaking down below that 50, it gets a bit more bearish. I've sort of put lines in the sand all the way through in terms of bullish bearish marks. It's bullish above this 200. It may just stay in the bigger picture a bit more bullish. There is this sort of line across here, 1830, where we could find a bit of resistance, but maybe later on, if it starts getting a bit of a if demand starts getting in there, catching the bid, I would suggest that we could see that pushing back into those highs. Okay, oil. Whoops. Now we've got OPEC meeting this week, maybe a bit more iffy. But it's carried on pushing through. Yesterday it pushed on up again. High lows still coming through here. High highs. Bit of a sticking point where it's sitting at the moment, but I I don't expect big movements at this time of the morning, although it already has had a bit of a movement. It may be just a patience game, trend line across the highs here, just to see if it breaks through later on, early afternoon now, as the markets, the volumes start coming through in the US markets. Okay, I'm going to bring in a different, if I can bring it in, just bring in the chart. Let's have a look at the cryptos first, and Bitcoin. So Bitcoin over the weekend selling off a bit here, some profit taking maybe coming through, still consolidated around these highs. There was, if I just bring this up, there was some divergence running across the previous mark here, and it's just really consolidating as much as falling. Now if we see a more sustained fall here, well, perhaps it will be in for a bigger correction, maybe back towards that daily 100, somewhere in that sort of figure, a bit more of a 50% retrace even, maybe for those Fibbo followers. But I'm still wondering whether we'll get a breakout of the highs here and another shove up as we head towards the end of the year, particularly if we see, I mean, the strange thing here is, okay, we saw it on Friday pushing up okay, but with the dollar softening, I would expect largely Bitcoin to be following the more bullish direction, but it's not quite so much during the week, as I say, over the weekend there. Ethereum, similar sort of picture, bit more, maybe a little bit more bullish yesterday, hasn't sold off there, still waiting to see if that breaks through above that towards the 34 area. Again, it still looks like it's just a nice consolidation sort of zone with potential upside. Ripple still is the softer of the three I'm looking at here. A break below those prior lows there would give us a lower high. In fact, it would give us a couple of lower highs all in one go, so just watching that carefully. But another one that's sold off over the, well, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's come off over the 3 days there. May pick up a little bit more. Sorry, that's not Friday at all. Friday was okay. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'm forgetting we've got a Monday involved in all of this, coming off yesterday as well. But we'll see. So let's say a little bit surprised that these markets just not picking up the same. Sorry, I'm getting the days mixed up on here as well. Friday actually was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yep. Yesterday was down day. I'm surprised that we're seeing these sort of down days when we're seeing the equity markets, the Forex markets up, and they're sort of dollar backed as well. So it's all backed on the dollar. Anyway, that's where we are sitting there at the moment. I'm still sort of leaning towards the more upside on those. Looking at the equity markets, no surprises really. As I say, I think this CSI 300 is going to come off further. It's come off yesterday, and it's been off again this morning, early morning through the Asian session there. Just seeing the FTSE opening up here on the positive, which is to be expected. Still, for me, looks like we'll run into those prior highs. Still looking bullish, as is the DAX. The DAX is sort of looking even more bullish at the moment, and it's sort of not too far off those prior highs. So the European markets and the CAC here, CAC a little bit slower, still got that gap to fill, but there's still that towards the upside. As I say, CAC is the laggard of the three. Looking at S&Ps, well, of course, yes, yet more new highs kicking through on the S&Ps, and you'll see on the Nasdaq here again, similar picture, driven through technical side of things here, pushed up there. The Dow's been a bit the laggard. It's not quite yet pushing into the new highs there, but still pretty bullish, kicking through these US markets. So overall, equity markets for me generally look bullish, apart from the Asian markets look a bit softer, but the European and US markets still look pretty bullish at this stage. Certainly with the sort of lack of any even tapering in the US, and certainly the European ECB's market doesn't want to taper. We've got this sort of situation where it's sort of just leaving it more and more bullish for equity markets. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. I wish you a great day, and I will catch you in the morning. Have a good one. Oh, sorry, just before I go. Okay, thanks. Sorry, Roy, I was just reading what you put there. Okay, Roy, thanks very much. Okay, I'll catch you, as I say, tomorrow morning. Have a great week. Great week. Great day's trading today. As I say, watch the month-end flows, particularly towards the end of the day. Bye for now.